Hello guys, this is Ncror and today we're gonna be talking about some Yinlin today. As Yinlin banner is coming soon, I thought this is the right time to make a video. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Let's get into the video. You're wondering what Yinlin, like what's her element? Her element is Electro. She's an Electro character. Weapon is Rectifier, and Yinlin is an off-field DPS who deals the most of her damage by marking a large number of enemies with her Resonance Liberance, basically the ult, and basic attack, upgrading those marked with a specialized heavy attack when the fourth circuit wavelength bar above the HP bar is full and damaging mark enemies with powerful repeated coordinate attack. This makes her best suited for fight with several enemies and swapping out the next teammate on the field. Her has their ultimate damage and electro damage buff, making her an ideal teammate for other strong on-field electro DPS characters. Almost all time, Yinlin deals damage from a safe range, whether it can be on field or fair distance away from opponents or off field entirely. Her fourth circuit, the mechanic regarding the sound wave bar above the HP bar, fills when the basic attack and resonance skill hit enemy, and when the bar is full, her heavy attack also deal AoE electro damage. This mechanic gives some credibility to on-field DPS as potential, but in many cases it will be not optimal. However, Yinlin does plenty of damage for you to play through the game in whatever style you prefer. Yinlin is not overly dependent on using her ultimate, but it's still recommended to have some amount of energy regen through substats to make hordes of enemy more quickly and easily. Overall, if you're pulling for Yinlin, you'll be satisfied, especially if you manage to pull Calchero as one of the standard banner 5-star character, as he is the ideal on-field electro DPS as of patch 1.0. Yinlin Kit is well tuned to several roles, as an off-field DPS will often have more staying power than on-field DPS unit. Let's talk about some stats that you should be keeping your eye on. First, crit damage for maximizing your damage in endgame. Energy regen is only in substats for ease in marking enemies. Attack percent, damage percent bonus are abundant in Wuthering Waves, and you'll have many sources of electro damage for the mainstays of your echoes and buff for teammates. Attack is rare in this game, and diversifying buffs is good in most gacha game. In early game, you can neglect crit to focus on attack percent. For any character devoted to build damage, it is important to prioritize a 1 to 2 ratio between crit rate and crit damage. 1-3 ratio, while they may give dopamine through bigger crit numbers, is actually less damage over. Aim for 75 to 150 ratio in the most cases. Yinlin scale. Yinlin skill, your talent leveling priority should be 4th circuit, basic attack, resonance skill, resonance liberation, basically the ult, and the intro. 4th circuit, chameleon cipher. 4th circuit essentially dictate what the wavelength bar above the HP bar does for your character, and will often dictate how the character is played. In Yinlin case, the 4th circuit energy is called judgment. The bar is filled when basic attack, resonance skill, and ult hit targets simply enough. This is responsible for the intro skill, basic attack, and resonance liberation, the basically ult. Marking enemy with the purple circular mark. This mark vanish when Yinlin leave the battlefield. However, this mark can be upgraded into triangular mark that will stay on enemy for 18 seconds. When Yinlin leave the field, this mark are upgraded when the 4th circuit bar is used and Yinlin use heavy attack. Enemies marked with this enhanced mark will take electro damage whenever they are hit with other attacks at most 1 per second. This is the bread and butter of Yinlin skill and demanding you priority in leveling. If you are a player coming from Genshin Impact, think of this for as similar to Shincho Yela Nahida main source of damage. Basic attack, Zapper Stinger Dance. Yinlin want to use her basic attack to mark enemy and rack up concerto energy for her outer skill. Plus, if you use her as an on-field DPS, you'll need to level this talent with greater priority than her skills. Resonance skill, magnetic roar. The skill empower Yinlin basic attack and dodge counter for 8 seconds up to 4 times when hit by either of these two foes. There will be a coordinate electro attack on affected enemy. It can be used again within the time frame to deal another strong instance of electro damage, dealing much more damage when damaged enemy were marked by Yinlin prior hit. Her ultimate skybreaking thunder strike. Yinlin ultimate deals a sizable amount of damage to enemies while marking them. Although it is one of the similar portion of her damage profile, it is greater for marking multiple enemies quickly without having to fiddle with the basic attack for several seconds. Next come her passive. First, using the first half of Yidlin skill, give 15% of crit rate for 5 seconds. Second, hitting mark enemies enhance the second of use Yinlin skill by 10% damage while also buffing attack by 10% for 4 seconds. Yinlin also gained 2 stat bonuses through leveling her fourth crit rate plus 8%, attack plus 12%. Now her swapping skills. Intro deals a strong instance of electro damage. Outro incoming teammate gain 20% electro damage and 25% ultimate damage for 14 seconds. Yinlin outro skills is particularly good, enabling potential on-field electro DPS while still providing red damage from the backline. Yinlin field time combos. Yinlin field time should be executed such as Yinlin intro skill, Yinlin then her ult to mark enemies, then echo skill, then resonance skill, basic attack to trigger for coordinate attack and build judgment, resonance skill again for even more damage on marked enemy. Once your fourth circuit bar is full, heavy attack to hit marked enemy and upgrade the mark. Outro skill or basic attack trigger depending on off-field on-field DPS. Now, Yinlin best weapon. Yinlin won't crit and attack weapon, but mostly crit weapons. Energy regen weapon can be considered if you're struggling using her ultimate constantly, but you're almost always better off saving that for echo substat. Remember that 5 star even not listed are usually better than all other 4 star unless otherwise noted. String Master increase the damage bonus or resonance attribute by 12 when resonance skill hit a target plus 12 attack, stacking up to twice when not on the field. There is additional 12% attack boost. Best 5-star weapon clearly made for Yinlin as she can use her resonance skill twice within a short time frame. Nothing come close when it comes to her off-field damage. Some might say the standard banner weapon Cosmic Ripple is better when playing Yinlin as an on-field DPS, but the massive amount of crit rate on this weapon is hard to ignore and makes building Yinlin easier. You can also use augment. It's in the battle pass. You can, but if you have purchased the battle pass, then if you're pulling for Yinlin, you can use this weapon. It gives you crit rate stat which are highly desirable and seldom go out of fashion. It's also better than any 4-star gacha weapon as of patch 1.0. Third weapon is Ninja Keeper. Yinlin isn't very F2P friendly when it comes to weapon. Unfortunately, worst case you can use Rectifier 25 if you're hunting for energy regen or an S5 Rectifier of 9, but this fall far behind Juzo Keeper, especially when it gets duplicates. In Lin's best echoes, character will usually use 4 costs of echoes to 3 costs of echoes and to 1 cost of echoes, adding up to 12 costs in the end game. Yinlin is no different. For early game 3 costs, acts 2 electro damage plus 2% of attacks or some combination of the two. For end game, 4 cost crit damage, 3 cost electro damage, x2, 1 cost attack percent, x2. For Echo Set, you can choose either to focus on her support capability via her outro skill and the 5 piece. Echo Set's 5 piece Word Thunder, best damage option, straightforward for Yinlin's need. Alternatively, if you can't find all 5 pieces, you can mix 2-piece set Void Thunder and Lingering Tune for 10% electro damage and 10% attack. Second is Moonlit Cloud, best support option, straightforward for Yinlin needs. Alternatively, if you can't find all 5 pieces, you can mix 2-piece set of Sierra Gale and Lingering Tune for 10% electro damage and 10% attack. Not only do you need to choose the element of echoes for Yinlin, but you also need to determine which echo skill you'll use. There are two candidates. Tempest Mephis for damaging Void Thunder set. There is another Mephis Echoes that does virtually the same thing, but its animation are slower, which can allocate rotation. You can use the other similar looking Echo if you have better stats on it, but Tempest Mephis is the way to go for damage, all things equal. Impermanence Heron for support Moonlit Cloud set. Yinlin is DPS at heart, but adding more buff to Yinlin partner DPS is a great way to maximize her support capabilities. The last part, the best teammates for Yinlin. The standard team will want an on-field DPS, Yinlin, or an Electro DPS. In this case, one character on the team that deal damage and buffs your main DPS damage, Yinlin or Phil slot, a healer or another buffer depending on your personal skill level with dodging and parrying. Right now, Yinlan teammates are fairly limited, but they will be updated as we learn more about her kit and synergies. Calchero is the on-field electro DPS of choice as of Yinlin initial release and creates a formidable teammate. Second is Shanhua. Shanhua is a free character if you join the game at launch, has short field time and good damage. Also buff basic attack. She's a great choice of a partner if you decide to use Jinlin as an off on-field DPS. Third is Verena. Verena is the best healing option right now as due to her universal viable buffs for teammates. She is the best pure support character you can have in the team. Last one is Baiji. Baiji is a freely available healer if you don't have Arena and will be your standard choice for when you need more comfortable fights. This is it. I'm also done. If you like the video, then like it. If you want to subscribe, you can subscribe the channel also. See you on the next one.